Hello everyone and welcome back to the drty.com YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at a modern living room table with a very special characteristic. It has the ability to extend. This is Paros. Let's dive in. The 6.5 centimeter thick rectangular top catches our attention thanks to its generous thickness, and this sturdy top is then supported by a pedestal base with sled legs which are angled slightly inwards, and what a pedestal base means is that it's one single piece joint thanks to a beam on the ground instead of being four separate legs. So Paros is not your average extending table. Not only does it extend, but you can choose from two options of dimensions. These are 180 by 100 centimeters, which then extends to 240 by 100 centimeters, or an even larger dimension, which is 220 by 100 centimeters, which then extends to 320 by 100 centimeters. The extending table really is the height of convenience, because perhaps you do have the space in your home for a large 320 by 100 centimeter table, but at the same time you would like to maintain free space where possible. An extending table allows you to have that beautiful free space when the table is not in use, but at the same time, if you do need to host large dinner parties with a lot of people, the table can extend with space for up to 12 people, so you won't be short of seating. Our version of Paros is in the more generous dimension, which when closed is 220 by 100 centimeters, and now let's take a look at how it extends. On either side underneath the table there are two concealed extending mechanisms. When you pull them out, you see that on top each one has a 50 centimeter long extension leaf, and this is placed on top of the mechanism, giving the table an extra meter in length and creating a total dimension of 320 by 100 centimeters, which can now seat 12 people. So as you have seen, this longer version, with the total of 320 by 100 centimeters of Paros, has these two lateral extending leaves here to the left and right of the table. However, it's important to note that if you do opt for the smaller version, which when closed is 180 by 100 centimeters, the two sides of the actual top of the table open to reveal a 60 centimeter wide extension leaf in the middle, which is then placed on top of the mechanisms in this way. Seeing as Paros has a very linear classic design, this means that by choosing a finish and color of your choice, it can completely adapt to anyone's personal style and taste. It's constructed from oak wood, and you can choose open pore lacquered oak or brushed fashion wood. The open pore lacquered oak is available in some very interesting, unique, bold colors such as night blue. Now there's an important difference between open pore finishes and brushed finishes. Open pore wood is treated in such a way that even if color lacquer is put over it, you can still see the lines and natural markings of the wood underneath, but the wood is still relatively quite smooth to the touch. Brushed wood, on the other hand, has quite literally been brushed in order to enhance these natural lines even more, for a more rustic look. So it's up to you. Our version of Paros is brushed fashion wood in the dark color fossil, but just imagine if it was an open pore lacquered effect in the color, let's say green tea for example. This light color would completely change the feel that the table brings to the room. Let us know in the comments whether you prefer a bolder look or a more natural wood finish. I hope you've enjoyed today's video on the modern living room table which extends Paros. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel to catch more product reviews. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.